Good day. We are the UQ Bachelor of Social Science students exploring what is neurodivergence. Neurodivergence refers to the natural variation of how brains function across the dimension of play, work, communication, and even studies. So what is neurodiversity and who are the people affected by neurodiversity? Neurodiversity are the people that usually are diagnosed with symptoms such as autism, dyslexia, and ADHD. These are the classic forms of what you can display as neurodivergence. This project, Neurodiversity Project, aims to explore, in partnership with Duan, UQ Disability Inclusion Advocacy Network. It aims to actually explore the experiences and the needs of neurodivergent students and staff at UQ.
Our project focused on two key research questions. One, what are the perceptions and experiences of neurodivergent students and staff at UQ? And two, what UQ can do to improve outcomes for them. The project aimed to identify both the barriers and enablers that shape the experiences of neurodivergent staff and students at UQ. More specifically, we wanted to understand how physical and digital spaces, administrative processes, and social environments impact accessibility and inclusion. What types of support are most effective, and what changes could create a greater sense of belonging and well-being at UQ.
Between June and August, we used progressive and snowball sampling to recruit participants, sharing of surveying through UQ networks, newsletters, and social media. 136 neurodivergent staff and students completed our survey, which gathered demographic information and reflections on learning, work, accessibility, and inclusion at UQ.
Often, physical spaces are designed with neurotypical needs in mind, leaving them inaccessible to some neurodivergent people. Participants report that sensory inputs in UQ's physical spaces often cause sensory overload, with things like noise, bright lighting, or visual distractions making it hard to focus or participate. They also highlighted some positive aspects of UQ's environment, such as the implementation of quiet or low sensory tutorials, low light areas, and green spaces, but agreed they are limited and unevenly distributed across the campus.
Participants highlighted barriers within UQ's digital environment. Many participants found UQ's digital systems confusing or difficult to navigate. Learning new platform takes more time for a neurodivergent user, yet little training or support is given. Tools that allow flexibility, such as lecture recordings, transcripts, and pre-uploaded materials, were useful for independent working and learning.
Many neurodivergent students and staff, especially postgraduate students and academics, report feeling overwhelmed by high workload, blurred boundaries, and the pressure to take on too much, which often leads to burnout. But rather than putting the blame on the neurodivergent individuals for their deficits, it is rather the system that doesn't allow them to perform effectively. We found that neurodivergent people thrive with clear communication, structure, and flexibility. When routines are consistent and expectations are transparent, they can focus and perform better. So, instead of expecting neurodivergent individuals to constantly adapt, we should build neurodivergent affirming institutions that highlight their strengths and support their unique ways of thinking.
Participants describe mixed experiences with UQ support system. Services like student access plans, workshops, and staff supports were appreciated, but many found them difficult to access. A major issue was limited staffing and funding, which make it harder to get timely help. Others describe inconsistent processes where access to adjustment and support varied between courses and faculties, creating confusion and frustration. Participants note that the process of accessing support was often slow and unclear, with students in particular needing to contact several departments before getting the right help. Some also felt that counseling services did not fully meet neurodivergent needs and asked for a more neuro-affirming professionals. Flexible support like automatic extensions and alternative exams were highly valued by neurodivergent students. These assessments help reduce stress, allowed students to work at their own pace, and often determine whether they could continue their studies successfully.
Social inclusion and a sense of belonging were important themes in participants' experiences at UQ. Many describe challenges in making and maintaining social connections, particularly with neurotypical peers, due to difficulties with small talk and implicit social cues. Despite these challenges, participants highlighted the benefits of neurodivergent communities. These spaces allow them to engage authentically, express themselves without masking, and feel a sense of belonging. However, some participants felt overwhelmed by the number of available groups, while others struggled to find the time or energy to participate. Many were unaware of existing communities or found information difficult to access, highlighting the importance of clear, visible and consistent communication. Specific emails, physical signage and in-person promotion were mentioned as ways to increase awareness and encourage participation.
Participants explained that while awareness of neurodiversity in UQ is improving, misunderstanding and stigma are still common. Some people reacted with surprise when the participants disclosed their neurodivergent, saying things like, "You seem normal," or assuming that ADHD is just meaning you're being loud or hyperactive. These misconceptions make it harder for neurodivergent people to feel accepted and get the support they need. Several participants expressed how they are less likely to disclose their neurodivergence to neurotypical people for the fear of being perceived as different or not normal. Others have said that some staff and peers do not know how to interact or start a conversation with them around neurodiversity, adjustments, or working preferences. Because of this, many of them called for better education and training across the university, especially for staff who work with students and people in leadership roles.
We sincerely thank from the bottom of our heart to all contributors and participants of this project in our research journey. Thank you so much.